Joining us now with a response, Katrina Pierson, national spokesperson for the Trump campaign. Katrina, good to see you. So,
Hi, Megan.
Can you speak to the governor's allegation? I mean, basically what she's saying is this is asked and answered. It's been litigated and discarded, and Hillary Clinton's not going to touch it.
Well, I think that's what they have to say right now, because they weren't really anticipating having to run against Donald Trump, someone who is going to be unafraid to bring these issues up, particularly as we've all known. Hillary Clinton and her campaign were going to run as a woman on women's issues and nothing else. Every policy Ms. Granholm just mentioned were about women.
Well, she was highlighting the women's issues because she was here on the show. Hillary Clinton's running on many issues other than the ones mentioned.
Yeah, but that's what she's talking about. That's the one thing that she's always talking about when she's talking about the sexism.
That's because the candidates were arguing about it.
But with regard to sexism, though, Megan, this is not just a Donald Trump issue. I will remind you. Bernie Sanders says, "Excuse me," and her campaign blew up. All of her supporters were calling Bernie Sanders sexist. Then you have the irony of Bill Clinton coming out calling Bernie Sanders profane sexist. So this is a common thread that we see in Hillary Clinton's campaign, and Mr. Trump is simply defending himself. Many women reject this old-fashioned feminism as if we need someone to validate our existence. Many women today respect the idea that someone treats them the same. It's not just a slogan for many women anymore. And if you think that criticizing a woman, particularly Katrina, in response...
But do you not, I mean, you know, this goes back to the very first question I asked Mr. Trump at that August 6th debate, which was never a statement about what Megyn Kelly thinks. It was a statement about what Hillary Clinton was going to do. And sure enough, she's doing it. And it was about Trump's language about women in particular. And I know he says he's an entertainer, Katrina, but as you know very well, some of those terms that are specific to women have continued even this past year.
Well, what I'll say is this. Just because you criticize a woman, particularly in response to her criticism of you, does not make you a sexist and does not make you a misogynist. Mr. Trump.
What if you refer to her looks, as he did with Carly Fiorina?
He's referred to men's looks as well. That's the point, though. That's the point. Mr. Trump has criticized men, too, who have criticized him. This criticism isn't reserved for women, and I think that's the difference.
What about the word bimbo?
What about the word bimbo? It's another thing. Mr. Trump has criticized women who've criticized him, just as he's criticized men who have criticized him.
So that word is fine by you. You don't see that word as sexist at all.
Well, even if it is sexist or not sexist, depending on how you perceive it, the point is he doesn't reserve criticism for women. That's sexism. That's misogyny. If someone criticizes him, he criticizes them. It's equal. It's not just one-sided here. I think that's the point.
The point they're trying to make is that there's a particular tone and a particular choice when he's going after women versus the men. That's what they're going to be saying.
That's what they're going to say, but history is going to show that's simply not the case. Mr. Trump was one of the first to bring women into executive positions back in the 80s with his organization. He has been very much accommodating to women in corporate America. He has more female executives than male executives. He has 2 sons, but yet his daughter is going to be inheriting the company. So just so many other things that goes to show
I didn't know that.
Is not.
I did not know
he's
that.
already mentioned that. He's already said Ivanka's going to take over. They'll have shared responsibilities, but he's already said Ivanka's going to take over if he wins in November. So these are the types of things that just tend to go overlooked and get lost in the media chaos.
Great to see you, Kat. Thanks for being here.
Great to be here.